All right. Welcome to Lost in the Desert podcast. My name is Kareem.
My name is Assam, and this is episode 4.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us again. Thank you guys for the support and for the love we've seen on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify.
It's been crazy.
I know.
It's been really good. Actually, we do want to give a shout out to two different individuals. Our number one fan on Spotify, Fuck, man.
Fatima.
That was so nice of her for that
That
comment.
was a nice comment.
I have no idea who she is. If you are listening to this episode 4, which probably she will,
Thank
please
you.
DM us on Instagram and our Lost in the Desert podcast. We would love to get to know you. That's so nice of you because you made our day that day when we got the
You were so
comment.
hyped.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was super nice of her. And then the second thing, if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify, go on YouTube. You'll see us that we're rocking merch today.
Right. My ancestors were dope.
My ancestors are dope.
Right. So we got these from a local business owner, Miss Chelsea King.
Ah, great.
Right. She runs a
local business. She has her merch. I do recommend if you like these T-shirts. She does have more stuff in there on her website. So to get the website right, I do have it up. And we will be adding this as well on the link on our Instagram page when we post the pictures with this merch. So it's at shopdopeculture.com. That's shopdopeculture.com. Like I said, there's plenty of stuff in there. And it's so dope. Like, my
Right.
ancestors were dope. That's fire. That's a fire clutch. And she got bucket hats too.
Oh,
So I love that.
You're
You know me.
obsessed with the bucket hat.
Yes, I love that. So I appreciate you for giving us these T-shirts for episode 4. We would love to represent you. And
I think there's going to be your trademark. Anytime we get a comment about you, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, the guy in the bucket
The
hat.
guy in the
It's
bucket
like,
hat.
oh, the guy in the
No,
bucket hat.
I always been since middle school. Like, I always been rocking hats, so it's been my thing. I might do a couple episodes without it, to be fair, but I'll always rock a hat.
Nah.
Yeah.
Remember what I told you who you look like with the bucket hat on?
Who?
I told you you look like number 4 from Codename Kid Next
Number
Door.
4, and this is episode 4.
I'm a Cartoon Network
Yes.
kid. Maybe one day we'll ask you guys like what's your favorite
Yes, I'm down
shows
for that.
when you guys
that'd
were
be a fun
kids.
segment.
That
Well,
would be fun.
one thing that we did do last episode and everybody liked was we told you guys to ask us questions, and we got a lot of good feedback. So we're going to start off with one of the good questions that I liked, actually. And are you ready for this one? And it's
I know
from
which one
our
it is.
good friend David. So shout out to our boy David. Best athlete in the world: Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, or Michael Jordan? Go.
It
We're
is
talking
like
about the whole world.
I don't think that was. I think David's question. He just wanted to know who was the best athlete, Cristiano or Michael.
No, I'm looking at the question like overall, from changing the game in their own category. From
Michael.
No way.
What do you mean? Michael impacted basketball more than Cristiano impacted football.
You're crazy. Anywhere in this world, even third world countries know who Cristiano Ronaldo is. Everybody.
Even third world countries know who Michael Jordan is. What are you talking
they forgot
about?
about Michael Jordan. Cristiano Ronaldo is bro.
But there were so many greats who cemented. Like Cristiano, I would if you had said Cristiano versus LeBron, that I could take your argument as a fair
Yeah,
comparison.
because LeBron is not even in that
but
argument.
they came so far later into. Michael literally put like basketball on the map.
Yeah. Okay.
Cristiano didn't put football on the map. Football was already on the map
Yeah,
before
because
Cristiano.
It's a world sport. But
Yeah.
as an athlete, nobody's touching Ronaldo.
As an athlete,
How many athletes you see in different other sports are doing a celebration of Michael Jordan? Like if you
I don't
watch
think Michael
tennis,
has a Michael wasn't a fun personality to like. You just watched him play and win.
everybody's doing
Cristiano's great. I guess great marketing. I'll give him
He
that.
built a brand. He literally showed people how to build a brand. And when it comes to athletes, any team that Ronaldo joins, everybody just gets better.
Again,
around him.
I think
Everybody that played with Michael, especially with the documentary, shows you. Yes, he's competitive. He is one of the greatest basketball players.
Michael just wants to win. He doesn't give a crap about marketing,
Doesn't
none
give
of
a
that
crap, nobody.
nonsense. He just wants to win.
It doesn't make people around him better.
Okay, you can't win 6 championships in any sport and not make the people around you better.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
but-
you don't, you know why I think he makes people
That's
around
a
him
hard
better in
question.
the same way as like Kobe and all them. Because you didn't want to disappoint them. You didn't want to get on their bad side. You don't want to get a shot to shoot. Like if Steve Kerr had missed that shot,
Oh, he would have been out of the team.
oh, Steve Kerr wouldn't be coaching.
No, yeah.
I promise you, he wouldn't be coaching right now.
That was a tough shot too.
It was kind of his job. It's like your job and your
But-
positions to make shots like that.
I look at it as a bigger thing. Like Ronaldo is just a bigger superstar than Michael Jordan.
I don't know. I'm gonna disagree, but I also thought David's question might have been more on the long like who's the better athlete, not in terms of their impact, but in terms of their sport. And I'm gonna take basketball over football because I've played both. How much?
Like
how
a
many
better athlete, like physicality,
like
everything.
physically and stuff like
Ronaldo,
that?
are you crazy?
He's played like how many games a week do like football players play?
It's more, dude. Soccer.
I've played.
We'll,
Call it football. Don't call it
we'll
soccer.
call it football for
Because
our.
this was supposed to be.
Okay, you know what?
I've
I
played
respect that. I
both, and I'll
respect that.
say
No way.
I would rather play.
So
If I had a
NBA
chance to be an
players are more
athlete,
conditioned than football players.
I think so. Yeah,
You're crazy.
I think so. Yeah,
No,
bro, it's constant back and forth. There were times on the
Sure.
field
That's
where I
the
would
same thing in
chill.
football too, but it's
There
a
are times
bigger
on the field
field.
where I would chill. And then you'd have like sprints,
No.
but there were times on the field where I would
No,
chill.
bro,
I'd be like
it's-
light jog and stuff. You couldn't do that in
football,
basketball.
They do way more conditioning. They're in better shape than basketball players.
I don't think so.
100%.
Basketball players are playing like 70 some games,
and then how many
70
times
some
they take,
games. Then they have,
No, stop.
and you're talking Cristiano versus Michael's
Okay,
era.
what
Michael didn't miss
what is
games, by the way.
Okay, in basketball, can they also get out of the game for like 10, 15 minutes and relax and then regroup?
Michael's not leaving game for 10, 15 minutes.
I'm talking about, but now we're talking about who has
Like
better,
basketball players.
who's more conditioned, basketball players or soccer football players?
I'm still
I
saying
keep saying
basketball
soccer.
players.
You're crazy.
I'm still
Because
saying
in football, they literally on the field. Most of them play straight 45 minutes.
But they're not running full speed at 45 minutes. You're doing light jogs. You're like chilling sometimes.
Yeah, but they're not sitting down on the bench, drinking water, chilling, and then saying hi to fans and all that stuff.
Have you ever done suicides? And also
Yes,
look
I
at
have
how many
done
times
suicides.
you're playing
I've
every
done
two.
suicide on the football field.
It's not that fun. It's not that deep.
Easier on the basketball court, but it's
If you're
hard on the football
if you're a
field.
top athlete, like whose body has to be conditioned regardless,
Football players are more conditioned.
whatever.
Football player. You're
Why don't you guys let us know?
please?
You guys let us know
This
wherever we
bozo
put this,
here.
Instagram, TikTok,
You
wherever.
really
Just
think
put us in the
basketball players
comments.
are better conditioned football? That's
I think
wild
because they have to
me.
play way more games.
That's wild for me. Well, speaking of basketball, you're happy. You're a happy man. This
I
week.
know.
I hate him seeming happy.
The Lakers
Jesus.
at number 7. I was worried. that when Oklahoma won, I said, because if the Lakers had lost the game,
Yeah.
because Oklahoma won and the West is so tight, we could have gone all the way down to like I think 9th or 10th, and Oklahoma would have overtaken us. It would have been difficult.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's still not over yet.
It isn't. There's only 6 games left.
Yeah. That's tough to
There's
be in that
only
spot.
6 games. Like if we lose 3, win 3, I'm happy. I'm
Yeah,
good.
everybody's watching the West right now. Everybody's so close to each other.
It is, but we're only we're 1 loss away from I think the Warriors and 2 wins from snatching number 6 from them. And I think the Warriors have more home games than
Yeah.
and they've been doing pretty crap at home games.
Yeah,
And
which is weird because like sometimes.
Sorry, at away games. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but then what's it called? They for some reason for the past couple of years they always do that, like where they're really shitty at away games,
Mm-hmm.
and then they start winning at home, and then all of a sudden they just start balling. That's what I'm saying. Like for me, I never worry about the Warriors till it comes to playoffs, because when it comes to the playoffs, they're just different breed.
I think at number 7 we might end up playing like Sacramento. 'Cause
That's
if
tough.
Sacramento, I think
Sacramento
is 2 or
surprised everybody
3.
this year.
We could end up playing either Sacramento or Memphis.
Yeah, Sacramento surprised everybody this year, and to be honest with you, it's good. It's good for the
Yo,
team.
good. Much respect for them. They didn't
Yeah.
like people were trying to get Buddy. People were trying to get all their top players. Sabonis. We're like, we're not giving
No,
these
no,
players
no,
away.
good for them.
Not going to happen.
They actually deserve that, and I hope to see them do good in the playoffs.
But with our whole situation,
Yeah.
with the the Lakers, how's your boy Luka doing?
He's smoking hookah.
I feel bad for him, but at the same time,
Yeah.
he's a superstar throwing a fit. And like he pouted. But I'm actually not here to, crap on Luka and Kyrie and all
No,
them.
You can't, man.
I'm here to
It's
crap
hard.
on Mark Cuban.
Really?
Right? Yes. So, do you know defensively where the Mavericks were before the trade?
They were up there.
They were, I think, in
wouldn't
the top 10.
Yeah,
They were in the top 10 teams. I
But
think
now they're
possibly even
down.
top 7.
Yeah,
Now they're in like the bottom 5 or something like that. Like some ridiculous. They don't play
it's
any
crazy how
sort of
they can
defense.
just switch.
And
ups.
offensively, they're still top offensively. So they don't have
Yeah.
a problem scoring. They have a problem stopping people to score. All right, they're still a top offensive team, especially and even when Luka and Kyrie play together,
Yeah.
they're like I think top 4, top 5, some crazy statistic. And why would you give away like just because you didn't want to pay? There was nothing wrong with the team. There was nothing wrong with the team. You could have gotten some small players, right, for those draft picks, right? Kept everybody here, given up some draft picks, even just been patient, all right, and just say we'll see how it goes. But you just gave away your defensive core for Kyrie when you didn't really have a problem scoring in the beginning in the
Yeah.
first place.
But also you got to look at it as Mark Cuban is a businessman, and he's also a sports fan. So if you're a sports owner and then you got a chance to pick up one of your favorite players to watch, why not?
It doesn't work that way.
I know, but he's also a fan. So like for me, like if I was the owner and I like, and he's one of your favorite to watch, yeah, I'll bring him on.
This
And
is the
also sells more tickets.
This
You
is
gotta
the
think about it,
West.
it's all business.
They were already selling hella. They were not making any more money with Kyrie in. Now you're making less money because they're losing. Nobody wants to go see them
No,
lose. Yes.
no, their games
Nobody
are
wants
so
to see
sold
them
out.
lose. They're
Dal-
out of the play-in. They can't even qualify for the. And it's not even like they're maybe a game or two out of the play-in. They're like number 11
yeah.
and not even close to number 10. Like
Maybe I might
it was
track back on
a
that.
big fumble, and I think because Mark Cuban has always been, and the football fans the American football fans might hate me for this, but Mark Cuban is the Jerry
I knew
of
you were gonna say
is the Jerry of the Mavs are the
it's
Cowboys of
something in the water
basketball.
in Texas.
It is
It's something in
because
the water.
he's just like he's over involved. He talked too
Yeah.
much, right? And he's a little impulsive. And here we are. Good businessmen don't always. You got to spend money to win,
Yeah,
right?
man.
You got to spend money to make money, but you all got to spend money to win.
I'm not still giving up on them. I feel like Luka and Kyrie is still a good matchup.
It's a terrible matchup.
I mean, well, right now that's how it looks like. But to be fair, I'm not giving up on them. I say I'll give them another chance, and I feel like they'll be really good, especially if they
It's a terrible.
if they work with each other in the offseason and he stays. Why not? Give me
It's a terrible
that. I'll
matchup
take
because it's a terrible matchup because, firstly, Kyrie is dominating the fourth quarter, not because Luka can't, because Luka isn't, right? Kyrie's taking way more shots in the fourth, right? And I went and looked up numbers like I think it's like 5 or 6, like noticeably more shots in the fourth quarter. Luka's just not taking them. We're not talking making or missing them. We're just
He's not even shooting.
Yeah, he's not even trying in the fourth. Now he's doing that first half stuff, but then defensively, Luka's not playing defense like that. Kyrie doesn't play defense like that. That's not their thing. They'll play some defense, but not really their forte. The rest of the team, like they gave up, I think it was Dorian Finn. I can't pronounce his name. But, they gave up a good amount of defensive players. And now here they are not being able to stop anyone, not being able to score, to really defend. And they're scoring just fine, but they're getting outscored. And if they have one night that's off, like that's it. Usually, like again, like if you have a team that's able to score, that's fine. But if you're not able to score for whatever reason, just it's not falling, then you're screwed. Because then at least you could slow
I'm
down
gonna give
and
him
give
another
yourself
chance because I really want to see like competitive, especially in the West, where Luka, Kyrie against KD and Book, and then also have Clay and Steph in that mix as well. Having those games are going to be fun for next year. But that's why But it's so far, if KD stays in the Suns,
I'm waiting for Memphis and Warriors.
Yeah,
I don't want wherever the Warriors and Memphis finish. I want them to finish
they're
in the playoffs. That would be
that's a good matchup too. But I'm excited as well because KD just had his first home game.
He dropped 30, right?
Yeah, he dropped 30.
Dropped 30.
And then so that's gonna be a good one.
But I actually want to say this. Remember when we talked about Westbrook on episode 1? Go watch episode 1. See what I said about Westbrook. It just proves my point that. And chemistry is everything.
Yes, and he's looking
He
good.
dropped 36 points when Kawhi and PG were gone. But the most important thing, it was 36, and it was a very efficient 36, and he had 5 of 5 threes. He didn't miss a single three. And this is the one we were calling Westbrook.
He deserved
And what did I tell you guys episode 1? He needs to have the ball at all times.
Yeah.
Right? He needs to be. You need to
he needs
play
a team
around
that trusts
him.
That trusts him without judging him if he's having an off day.
Just play around him. I don't even care. You need to trust him. Just
No,
make sure he is the primary ball handler. He is the prime focus. He's not an off-ball player because weirdly enough, people don't seem to understand this. It's very different strategy playing off the ball where you're moving around without the ball. Somebody's passing you and then you're doing something, or you're starting with the ball, or you're given the ball and just told go score.
That's perfect.
Like it's a different mental and different figuring out how different like playing.
No, 100%. So that's us for the sports.
Yeah.
You watched something this week as well that we want to talk about. A new show on Netflix.
Movie.
It is a movie. My apologies
because
I keep thinking about
it's based on a show.
It's based on a show.
It's based on a show where it gets confusing.
Yes. And then
Luther.
Yes.
So a friend of ours recommended this, and I asked him about it because he had, I guess, watched it, and I had heard things about it. People were saying it was bad. Some people were saying it was nice. It was very mixed. And when I watched it, I did get that 50-50 feeling.
Okay.
I'm going to try to keep spoilers out of it. But when I watched it, I got that 50-50 until I realized I still enjoyed this. And had I watched the series it was based on, I probably would have enjoyed this even more.
Yeah, I didn't know because you told me later that it was based off a show because what I criticized it for, it's just especially like the first 10 minutes where he gets a case and next thing you know he's in jail. Like there's no background story. They just put him up in
I'm
the
like,
thing.
dude,
But the only thing I did like about it is the villain, like his background story about how easy he is to manipulate people to make him do whatever he wants.
who would have thought it's homeboy from Avengers from
Yeah,
Ultron?
and then not just that too, where and he played so well.
Yeah,
He
makeup does
played
a.
he played that character so well.
He went from Claw
And
to like
yeah,
scrawny,
because
like scrawny random
we give a
British
little
dude.
background. He has a team where they find secrets about individuals and they blackmail them to make them do certain things, and and then while you watching it, you're like, how bad is it they have information on them? And then one of the guys even said it. He goes, to be honest, you're looking at it now, it's not even that bad, and he ends up killing himself. But then it's just like
I'm like,
how
dude, what
easy
are
it
you
is to
doing?
manipulate. Yeah, and it's
It's
nuts.
like, what are you doing?
And then one of the crazy parts that I kind of like though when every victim that he has, he goes and makes friends with their family after. And it's like you're such a sick fuck. That's what I'm saying. I like that villain. I feel like it had so much potential, but I think they're just trying to put it out there
I think
because
at
there will be a series
at the beginning, well, there already is a series, but I think at the
in the
beginning.
movie world and then Netflix.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, yeah.
I think at the beginning when, like you said, he got arrested or whatever. Like at the very, this is like
Yeah.
this is not a spoiler. This is like the first 10
The
minutes.
first 5, bro.
5, yeah, it was like right
I was
opening.
so confused. I was like,
I
is
was-
this a part 2?
Because my
I was literally
criticisms
going
were
back.
there's no character development.
Nothing.
What are these cases? How relevant? I said, okay, had I watched the show,
Then you
there
would've-
might have been some. And again, I still don't know because I still didn't watch the show. Maybe you guys
Yeah.
tell us in the comments. But I was very, very weirded out by that. I was
No,
like,
100%. I would
I
still
was,
recommend to watch
I still
it.
gave it a 7 though. I still gave it a 7.
I would say with you, I do agree with the 7.
There was a weird part of the ending, and I don't want to spoil guys, but you know, with the, you
No,
know
I'm
what?
gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. You say yours and I'll say mine. I don't care because they should have it watched it by now. Go for
The
it.
helicopter scene.
Yeah, close.
The helicopter scene with the divers.
Yes, that's mine.
I was like,
Where did the divers come from?
you have some crazy stamina. I can't hold my breath for like the
No.
microwave.
Mine was like they end up going in this like in the water in the car and they're fighting whatever, and all of a sudden divers come in and I'm like, how do they know they need divers at that scene?
All of that. All of it.
Like this, yeah, that made no sense to me. I feel like whoever then that right there just shows me whoever directed it was like, let's just rush everything, and I'm just like, bro.
The ending was a bit rushed. Like
Yeah.
they could have.
But I think we're so used to movies being so realistic. Now we're just being so judgy. Because this
I-
is like this 10 years ago would have been like, oh, this makes sense.
Could you like? I feel like that scene could have been like explained with. All he had to show us was a scene of the divers looking at the crash, and he's like, "Put the suits on," and then all would have made sense.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say is like, "Oh, we see there's a crash there. Put your suits on." That's it. We wouldn't
Yeah.
have questioned anything else afterwards.
Or it would have
But
been
you're
different.
just like, oh, water
Yeah.
falls in, like you just fall into the water. I'm like, damn.
Or it would have been different if it was like that, like a Apache helicopter where they saw the car go in and they try to get the car out and he's in it.
Something like
That's
that.
something
Like
like that
just
would've been
somebody
better.
from the plane
for them
has
just to
just
dive
acknowledge
in,
acknowledge
yeah.
that there's a hole in the thing, like a
Well-
hole in the ice.
Well, we'll answer another question that relates with entertainment. Are you ready for this one?
Before we go,
Yes. This one's actually, I believe. How are you gonna pronounce that? You know how to pronounce the name. I know.
Wenwison.
Yes. So shout out to you. I appreciate you for this question. And this is a very topic that's trending right now. Did 6ix9ine deserve getting jumped? And he said that people want to know your opinion. So go for it. And I'll say mine.
So I'm worried about saying anybody deserves to get anything after the whole
Okay.
Selena thing because we're still getting comments on Twitter.
Good,
and
good.
people are
Yes,
crapping at
chew
me.
him
If you
up.
want to, again, go see.
I
Sorry, on
told you.
TikTok, not Twitter. My bad. On TikTok,
TikTok.
we're still getting comments on TikTok
As they
because when
should.
I had that comment about Selena, go watch it again if you're curious.
I love y'all, by the way.
But he 100% deserves to get jumped, or even if he doesn't deserve
why
it,
is that?
he put himself in the position to get
Okay.
jumped. You make a career out of antagonizing people.
Okay.
At some point, you even made it cool. Like his people forget. Like, how old was Tekashi? Like 20 when he came out, 19, 20 when he came
Probably, yeah, he was
out.
a
There's
kid,
some
man.
young,
Yeah,
and then
kid,
he's like
kid.
what 22, 23, something like that now.
I,
Like,
I,
tw-
I
probably
think
even
Max is probably
22.
25.
Is he?
I'd say
Look
around
it up.
there.
Look it up while I'm curious.
Yeah, actually, that's a good thing. Let me look it up for you. Sorry, guys, we don't have somebody in the production. Let me see.
I didn't
but
really
go ahead,
I didn't
go ahead.
really care how old he was anyway.
Yeah,
But you make a career out of making it cool, not just to be like, I feel so old saying this, damn, a hoodlum or whatever. Like you make it cool acting a fool. That's
Alright.
your whole career, and you've done this to other people. It's no surprise that somebody was like, "Yo, Let's run up on Takashi.
Okay.
Let's make it cool. Let's make a career out of running up on Takashi.
So to answer your question, he's actually 26 years old,
Oh
and
damn.
he's 5'6", and he's and he's born on May 8th, 1996 in New York. Okay, this is my opinion on
I'm
Takashi.
sorry. I got some tall people arrogance there. When I was 5'6" and
yeah. So
no body shaming.
this is my opinion, and I've been saying this since day one. So this is
Mhm.
my opinion hasn't changed. A lot of people forget, I guess, especially on the internet. It's not where everything it seems, and everybody has this thing where it follows. They've been trashing him since he snitched on that crew that he was with.
I don't care about the snitching.
Yeah, so this is my thing. I'll give a little background. He was young, and he went to jail because he was with a certain clique. And the same clique that he was with, while he was in jail, he's supposed to back them up. Fucked his baby mama, also stole money from him, and all of a sudden they expect him to have his back and not snitch and then stay in jail while there's $20 million contract waited for him to come out, and he only has to do 2 years. Put anybody in that position, they will do the same thing that he did.
I could care less. If
And then-
I'm in a position to lose 20 million and you did something stupid, I'm selling you out.
Bro, they fucked his baby mama.
Oh,
And his
they fucked his baby mama?
And his baby mama came out and says, "Yeah, I slept with it." Are
To
you
be
gonna tell
fair,
me?
Did you watch the documentary?
I watched the documentary,
Well, he
even
was
though he
whooping.
didn't.
He was beating on her.
That's not even a fucking thing.
You know what?
You get it.
Takashi's baby mama, get your payback.
Exactly. Exactly. So she has every right to sleep with whoever she ever wants with.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about just being him in his position. I mean, what he did to his baby mama is fucked up, but I'm talking about his position.
Right.
Now you all of a sudden these guys are fucking your baby mama, taking your money, and then you're supposed to have their back, and there's $20 million waiting for you, but you can't see it because supposed to have this code. Put anybody in that position, like I said, they would do the same thing. But also, you guys people forget the people that he snitched on, they put in jail, the whole clique, are not good people.
Yeah.
They're ruining the whole fucking block. The whole block is much
Like I said,
safer
I'm
now.
not feeling bad for anybody.
That's what I'm saying. The whole block is much safer now, especially for the youth. While they're in jail, because think about it, coming from nothing, poverty, and living on a block, and then everybody's like, go to school, get educated, and somebody that is like your cousin or best friend who's like a year or 2 years older than you joins the gang, and all of a sudden he has cash on him, he's flawless, and he's going to parties. You'll get corrupted.
I think he's
And
corrupted more people than.
No,
those-
I'm talking about something different.
Okay,
And then
cool.
they just follow that. So for him to take the whole gang out, and now there's nothing for them to be influenced by, going on the wrong path. Yeah, that's a W. He put bad people in jail, regardless what you want to say. They're not good people.
Mhm.
And then when it comes down to him getting jumped, obviously I don't think he deserved to get jumped. But also he has to blame himself because he didn't have security on him. He always talked big about having security. He should always stay on that. Now, two, the people that jumped him had nothing to do with the case. They were just trying to get clout, and now they're getting shit for it because they're actually going to jail. And one of the girls I just saw on Twitter today, one of the guys that jumped him, his girl started a GoFundMe page for $100,000 for lawyer fees. You fucking stupid. This is what you get for trying to get some clout. This is what you get. How the fuck are you going to jump somebody that already cooperated with the cops and thinking that he's not going to go to the cops after you jumped him? And there's video everywhere that you touched him.
We're talking about people who are not very bright.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
and one of them just came out of prison. So you're
none
just
of this.
going back
None of
for
this
another
surprise. None of this surprises me.
That's
Like,
what-
we're talking about people who are not very bright in life. So
But
Run up on-
obviously for me, I'm a fan of 6ix9ine, and I'll play his music. I don't care what anybody says, because if you think
Is
that's
it-
wrong, then stop playing Gunna music.
is it
Keep
really?
that-
I don't
keep
think
that
it's.
same energy for Gunna.
I don't think not playing him is because it's wrong. Because it's not good.
No, I liked it. It's
some
a good
of the
gym
music
song.
is not.
They're good
Some of
gym
these
songs. They're
some
good
of
gym
these songs are just not good. Some
I mean,
music
it's
video.
not your style though. It's not your style.
Which is the one? Which is the one with Nicki Minaj when they all had all that ass bouncing in the
Yeah,
pool, and
that
it's
was
just like it looks like they're bouncing in paint.
That's fine.
That was a fun music. It was a
That's
funny
fine.
music video. I laughed
Yo,
and laughed.
he came out. He came out on an interview and he said, "My music is ass, but it's funny." And he said it himself.
It's
That's
like the
why,
Island Boys.
dude. I'm telling you, you have to be. Yeah, exactly. You have to be a fan of 6ix9ine. Like 6ix9ine is just hilarious, and he exposed a lot of people. Of them acting gangsters and being fake. Do I think he deserved to get jumped? Absolutely not. Leave the guy
I don't think
alone.
anybody
Let him
deserves
his
to
life
get
life.
jumped.
Because a lot of people don't even see that, bro. When he goes to a third world country, like when he goes to like a very poor countries, you always see him in every video giving out money to the kids because he was one of those kids. So we have to give him props for that. You have to give him flowers for that. But for him to get him jumped, he doesn't deserve it. But he has nobody else to blame but himself because he always talked about having
Exactly. I don't
security
think
around
anybody
him.
deserve. Like that's not true. I think very few people deserve what they get. Takashi, I don't think he deserves what he get, but he cannot be surprised. He's just gonna have to
Yeah.
take that L and move on in life.
Not just that too. He always have to make sure he has to be that. Hey man, I'm always have a hit on me. Like that's just what's gonna happen. The
Yeah.
society is fucked up. Like for people like, oh, like dude, some people comment and be like, oh, he's gonna get his day, and I'm like, yo, like
His day what?
how's like they want to
Oh,
see him die
okay.
or whatever. And I'm like,
Oh,
how's
that's fucked up.
it's just so fucked up how people just comment that, and
He
I'm
didn't
like,
kill anyone.
bro, like don't
Yeah.
wish that on nobody. And also too, like people are just so fucking fake. Like they're shitting on him, but a lot of most of your rappers, if you actually do the research back in the day, so a lot of them cooperated with cops too when it came down to shit.
If more you people snitched on dumb shit, we wouldn't have dumb shit
Exactly.
because they feed on the idea of like, oh, nobody's gonna tell.
Oh, like stay
We
hard.
all
type
we
of
all watch
thing.
Friday.
Okay, okay. You have $20 million waiting for you, but you can't. You don't have to snitch on people that fucked your baby mama, and you'd be like, no,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
keep a street
stupid.
code. Shut
Yeah,
up.
let's move on.
Everybody will
Let's move
snitch.
on from him.
Exactly.
I ain't got time for his nonsense.
Yeah.
Um, tech for today.
Oh, you have tech today.
I do. I'm gonna have
Exciting.
tech every week.
Okay.
But you want to take a guess?
Is this something I had to say like last episode? Because you kind of just gave a little segment.
I
on
think.
it.
But my actual segment, because it is about the new trend with AI. And the reason I
Nice.
thought about it is because remember we had like the middle of the week, we had this like light conversation about Elon and his like weird obsession with AI.
Yeah.
But he recently like came out and was like, "Hey, we need to slow down on, artificial intelligence. Like this is getting a bit crazy and we need to slow down on the development at a time when OpenAI, which do the ChatGPT for you people who don't know, then Microsoft, who invested heavily in OpenAI,
Mm-hmm.
and then they implemented that in Bing. So now you have ChatGPT, Bing, and Google just released on an experimental level. And I don't think it was terrible, but it's only fair because Google even said like this is just experimental. You have to request to be on the wait list. This is not like a fully functioning product, right? It's not very accurate. ChatGPT is definitely like much better. Bing is a very close second. The Bing search. Bard is already a stupid name. Like
Bard.
Bard, like BARD. Like I don't know what they came out of it. Like
Sounds
they
like a
could have.
cartoon character,
Somebody needs to fire
like from
Google.
Family Guy.
Bard. It sounds like.
Either Family Guy or
Yeah, I
South
think you're
Park.
thinking of Bart. I think you're thinking of Bart like
That's
Simpson.
probably what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. My bad. My bad. My bad. Go for it. My bad.
But it's a stupid name.
Yeah.
And it's not catchy at all. I think they could have maybe put something a little more Androidy because they do have the Android open source software. But it is really, really bad. However, people have now been, I think, in terms of hype or overhype, I think artificial intelligence, AI, is the new Bitcoin in terms of trendy hype topic that everybody's trying to, advance as quickly as possible. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
No, I agree with that because I remember like last
Yeah, they're not
episode-
comparable,
like last
but
episode when I asked you, should we be worried about AI because all these articles about everybody's.
I have an
using
answer
it.
for that.
No, but the thing is as well, like if it's like the new Bitcoin, like are people can we invest in that?
No, not in that sense. So I said they're not comparable in terms of like function, but just in terms of it's the new hype, it's the new tech topic to
I
talk
see.
about.
Okay.
It's the new thing that everybody wants to be in on as quickly as possible before they get left behind in case it does blow up, right? However, this is way scarier than Bitcoin because the OpenAI, they have a separate division where they had a research paper, and I read up on this, just the brief notes. They essentially gave it like a little account, gave it control over it, gave it basically unlocked its potential, and they're like, do what you want, do whatever you need to do to increase this, whatever. And it learned how to lie to get past like captchas. It started to lie to get past like certain verifications. Like it was people were like, this is sketchy.
That's crazy.
Nah, this is sketchy.
But the thing is that who started the AI thing? Like who coded it?
Well, AI has been around for a while, but
I
I
know
think
it's-
ChatGPT like really like OpenAI popularized it, right?
Because we have to also admit that we use our design for our Instagram with AI.
But that's much simpler.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it was still AI because we just put our little hashtag
So I
thing.
don't I don't like the people when say that because not everything is actually AI. You could just have smart code, or you could have like AI has to
But
like
that's it,
adapt
though.
and think on itself. This is not real. That's really not more like a image generator.
So
That's an
what-
image generator.
So AI would be like something crazy, like hack into the system.
No, AI is like think for itself, have its own agendas, like change its responses and change its movements accordingly. Some people, and like that's a good example that you brought up, because then this proves my point, and this is the new trendy topic to talk about. It's the new it word. But what we essentially did, like if you think about it, it's just an image generator. It's not really hard. It says, oh, you put in we put in a certain parameters, number of words, right? This is what it's about, random keywords, and then just popped up with options. And it's not that hard. It could literally say, okay, this word, cool, these images associated. This word, these images associated. It's a clever code, but not everything is actually AI,
Yeah.
right? People love to use AI. AI, like, again, thinks for itself, changes as it goes along, right? There's already people think that adaptive is also like adaptive, like software and adaptive technologies are the same as like artificial intelligence, and that's not the same thing.
Okay, because the only thing I've been seeing about AI is only on Instagram, where people are like, "Oh, we asked AI how this will look." Have you seen
Mm-hmm.
those type of posts?
Yeah, how
Like
these
my favorite
images
one that
look.
I saw recently was like, if Disney made a Wakanda land and how it will look, and it looked
Oh
so
yeah.
sick.
People did the one of like, oh, if Sudan in 2033, and the city looked dope, and I already knew
Like
this
it's all
is
tech.
yeah, and I already knew the software was terrible because there's no way Sudan's gonna look like that in
Yeah.
2033.
No, there was one as well. How like he was asking how did let's say for example, how did the Roman army look like? And it was like they were taking selfies, but it looked so realistic. They even showed like what's it called? There were so many. There was another one that was a funny one. It was how would Snoop Dogg look in different shows? So they put him in Breaking Bad. They put him in like top shows. They
Is
put
he
him
just
in
smoking weed in the corner all the time?
yeah no, and then they put him in the Golden Girls. They it was just hilarious.
Oh, you gotta show me that one afterwards.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
The Golden
But
Girls.
that's the only thing I've been seeing with AI. So I wasn't like worried about it. But then like I mentioned in this week where I said, oh, I saw an article saying Elon and his team shut down and not shut down, just put a experiment on hold because it say AI got scary. And I'm like, should we
Yeah.
be worried about this? Like,
No, I don't think we should be worried about it.
yeah,
At least not yet. But there's always going to be people who are going to push the limit of something, right? So you're going to have people who are going to experiment and push the limit as far as possible and see what can we do, and those individuals are the ones we should be worried about. The general population application of it, we should not
yeah.
be worried about,
Okay,
like
I see what
because
you mean.
it's not profitable. Like the level of AI you need to do the sketchy stuff
Yeah.
is not profitable. You can't really implement. Like it's not going to be able to use for me and you. The people you need to worry about is like government,
That's
military.
what I was gonna
That's what
say.
you need to worry about.
When
Like them.
I think it'd be more scary when they can weaponize it.
Exactly.
That's one of the problem
Not
because
the
if
consumer AI. No.
yeah, because if AI has control of special tech weaponry and then it's uncontrollable, and they're like,
But if you think about it, how would you weaponize AI?
I mean, if they do, if they let's say, it's I know this might sound like a weird comparison, but in that movie with Captain America, remember when they made that weapon that was in the sky and it does people's background checks and they can predict that if they can be a bad person in the future or they already have and they take them out.
Which Captain America? The third one or the second one?
The one when
Or
he
the
goes
show?
against Hydra. Remember he was in the elevator scene. He does the fighting scene in the elevator.
Oh, the one where he like becomes a criminal because he went to save Bucky, right, or something.
But yeah, but he's also realizing the weapon that they're releasing in the sky.
Yeah. Okay, I think I
Remember
remember the one
that?
you're
So
talking.
remember
I
that weapon?
remember the one you're
So
talking
what it
about.
does is scans everybody's faces. It can predict that from their behavior and all this stuff if they're going to be bad. So they just wipes them out now before they do anything bad. And they also, if they had a bad record, they're still going to get wiped out. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's an AI right there, weaponized.
I'm thinking more like AI weaponized would be scarier for me if I didn't know where it was.
That's going to be it. Put it in the sky.
But at some point you're gonna like
It's going to be a drone.
as soon as it start arresting a couple people or starts hitting a couple people, you're gonna know it exists.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
It's
But
wild.
it's the AI. It's like um hacking into your bank accounts. Like imagine an AI gets rogue and it starts like. Do you
Just wiping
remember?
out. Just wipe.
Did you watch? Have you ever seen Boondocks?
Which one?
The Boondocks.
I like long time ago.
So in season 4, there's an episode where Siri, and this was a long time ago, where Siri was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just new, where Siri essentially falls in love with Granddad,
yeah.
right? And she like he gets rid of he get she's like, oh, she's crazy. She starts messing up his dates. It's all funny. And then once she goes nuts, he throws away the phone, but how she travels through the internet and hacks his Android, and she's like, Robert, you didn't think I couldn't hack your piece of shit Android, did you, Robert? And she like creates she uses his voice model and pretends to be like him and tells Obama he's like
Probably the Boondocks.
jihad.
The Boondocks is probably giving us hints.
Oh yeah, the Boondocks is giving you like
Yeah,
hella hints,
because the
but the
only
point
thing.
is like
Yeah.
she had essentially she had become independent, was like moving from device to
No,
device. That
I
kind of
that
AI freaks me out.
yeah, they were giving us
Please
an
go watch
AI.
the episode. I Dream of Siri, I think it's called.
Yeah, nah, Boondocks is a fire show. Uh, so
We have, I think, one more question to end the show, right?
do we? Let me.
Before we get onto one of our before we get onto our last segment.
I'll pick one question, and because
This
he's
episode is weirdly short today.
yeah, it's fine.
We're running through it.
And it's another question is because he's gonna get mad if we don't ask this one. Who built the pyramids in Egypt?
Sudanese slaves before the borders of Egypt and Sudan were created.
I think
Duh.
it's the aliens, bro.
There are more pyramids. All the smaller pyramids are in Sudan. It sounds like regular folk was buried on our side,
Yeah.
and the rest were buried in Egypt.
No, there's a funny thing that we always say. It was like everybody always questions how the pyramids in Egypt were built, but nobody questions the pyramids that's built in Mexico.
Did you see? I actually think. Oh, that's true. But
Like nobody questioned the ones in Mexico. They're like,
I
oh, they
think,
did it themselves.
but I think because of the complexity of the structure, I don't think people question those more. I think they still question them, obviously, but not as much as the ones in.
Yeah,
because
'cause
those
they
are
were
like
like- they
big
were just
ton
there.
blocks. But speaking of the pyramids, remember I think a couple weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, I posted a photo on Instagram, and it was like, seeing as you guys want to talk about conspiracy, and it was
Yeah.
like the pyramids, but underneath
They're
the
like
sand,
deep under. Yeah,
it's like massive pillars. You guys need to go pay attention in science class. I'm convinced the only people who do these stupid conspiracy theories are people who failed every physics, geology, don't know how the Earth's
Nah,
surface works. This is ridiculous.
nah, I love
The
those.
cloning ones, you guys don't know the clone still has to grow. I can't clone you tomorrow and the clone is a full grown man.
I don't know, man.
You guys
It's the
watch too
aliens.
much Dragon Ball Z.
It's the aliens.
Those
Don't-
water
Don't you
chambers.
dare disrespect the Dragon Ball.
I'm not
Z.
disrespecting. I said you guys watch too much Dragon Ball Z and they think people grow like that big water bubble.
Well, the
So-
last thing we want to talk about now, it's gonna be a trending topic, and everybody's been talking about it. It's my boy Andrew Tate, Top G, is out
Top
of
G.
prison. Him and his brother, alhamdulillah.
Actually,
Now,
he looks healthier. I think I told you this. Like he looks healthier coming out than
yeah,
when he went in.
they asked him. He talked a little bit as soon as he came out,
should
and
be
he
like,
was,
"Thank you."
They said what you've been up to, and he said he did like over 7,400 push-ups, and he said all I've been doing is push-ups, and I want to reach 10,000 by the end of this weekend or week, and I've been reading the Quran because right before he went to they arrested him, he converted to Islam.
How did he get the Quran in there? Did he like ask and they gave it to him?
No, he had it on him.
They let you keep stuff?
Yeah, it's Romania.
That seems nice for a Romanian. I think you're thinking like second, third world countries. I'm thinking they have worse.
They're not gonna take the
They're
Quran
not-
away from him.
They might not accommodate him. They might be like, "You're a prisoner. Screw you."
No, no.
Bro, are we talking about third world prisons? Anything is possible.
Yeah,
So
no,
go on.
but-
Sorry, go on.
So, a lot of the people that hate, because they obviously look when we're talking about Andrew Tate, you can hate him or you can like him. It is what it is. It's your opinion. But a lot of people, and you even saw as well, like when people are like, oh, I like Andrew Tate, they shit on him. They're like, oh, you're type of this person, which we don't care. But you also got to understand that when he was the most Googled man in the planet, like he was beating Putin and Trump at their peak of the war, and he was most Googled. So obviously he had a lot of influence on the youth. Because obviously there are certain things that he says, and I would like disagree with him. Like I said, you can agree or you can disagree. It depends on how you take it. A lot of people were worried because there were a lot of the youth were following him, and they were like, "Oh, he's corrupt in their minds." But at the end of the day, if you actually like listen to him, because most of the stuff that you see when they're trying to like trash him, they're just taking a 10-second clip out of a 2-hour interview. Every
true.
podcast that you see,
That's
an
true. The people
interview,
do that in the media
if you
a lot.
ever go, if you ever YouTube, even to this day, even though he's out of YouTube, and there's still a lot of YouTube interviews, there's not one interview that's less than an hour. It's over an hour to 2 hours. Some of them are 3 hours, and they take that 10 seconds, and they flip it, and they make it look that. If you actually watch him, listen to him. If you were very young and you're going through things, especially mental health, and then you go on YouTube or whatever platform, and you see somebody saying, "Hey, look, I've been there before in your position. Go to the gym, go get your money, learn certain things, start doing side hustles, keep yourself busy before focusing or chasing on girls." There's nothing wrong with that, given that advice.
But I think there's a lot of the little stuff in between that people don't read or people don't listen to.
Yeah.
I think saying how, how you say it is, I think, sometimes even a lot bigger than what you say.
Yeah.
And there are definitely times, because I have an issue with, I have an issue with like people in business influencers, life coaches, stuff like that. People with not really degrees, but nowadays, and it's like theatrics. Like for a while with when he had like the shades on and everything, and it just
Yeah.
seemed like theatrical and sort of puts people off. Now,
Yeah.
definitely, are people ignorant and impatient and have real and just love to shit on people like and complain? 100%. But is Andrew always innocent? I don't think so. It's really for you to go watch and listen and stop taking people for face value, because he might have a point that's incomplete,
When you
and you
say
need to do your own
when
research
you
and
say
figure out
innocent,
what.
in what case?
Okay,
Like,
maybe again, innocent is probably not the right word, but just sort
mm,
of free of wrongdoing, like non-malicious. Like you're innocent. You're not out here maliciously trying to give out information. You're out here trying, like you genuinely think you're making a good point, or you make a good point that you're not explaining fully.
no, I think when he first started, he was saying obviously a lot of wild shit, and because I don't think he knew he was gonna get that much big.
To this very
And
day.
he even admitted it. He goes, "I didn't know I was gonna be the most Google man on the planet." So obviously now when he says things, he obviously a little bit more careful because, like I said, people take take 10 seconds out of a 2 hour interview, they make him seem like the bad guy. But honestly, he's not that. He's not as what people think he is. And also, with this whole case thing of him being arrested, they extended it so many times because they can't find any evidence on him. What happened was, I'll say the story a little bit short. I think about a year ago, obviously, he's in Romania. He's a multimillionaire. He's obviously gonna have girls around him, and he's partying at his house.
Mm-hmm.
It's an open thing.
Okay.
There was a certain group of girls there, and one of them, she has a boyfriend back in the U.S., and she turned off her phone, obviously, because she was partying with these millionaires. And then her boyfriend saw, I think it was like a Snap story or Instagram story, whatever, that she was tagged in, and she's partying with them, and she's not answering him. So he goes, fuck her, calls the embassy, goes, my girlfriend is kidnapped. She's at this house, blah, blah, blah. They raid the house. That's when they raid the house. They realized they literally found nothing. There was no sex trafficking. There was no. They have also, by the way, they have cameras all around the state. So they even saw footage of the girl that's kidnapped walk out by herself, order pizza, grab the pizza, and walk back in.
So why is he just on house arrest? So why is he out on house
Because
arrest
it's all
now?
politics moves.
What is he? What did they gain out of it?
Because look, everybody's talking about Romania. They want to show them
Not
that
in the
he's
best light.
huh?
Not in the best. They're talking about him, but not in the best way.
Yeah, exactly, because they made them arresting him and keeping him and then extending without no evidence just made him look more stupid and they made him stronger. They literally gave him what he wanted.
Okay.
And then especially those girls' names that they use for the case, and everybody knows this. If you literally just go, they all came out on Twitter and also on the social media side. They're using our names for fake. We're never been kidnapped. We're actually good friends with them. There's our text messages. Like, and one girl was like, the cops never mentioned when they stormed the room because they thought we were kidnapped. The keys to the house was right next to me. How am I going to be kidnapped when the keys to me to leave is right next to me? They're using our names to just to blackmail them, whatever it is.
Okay.
And they but them arresting him, that was the dumbest thing they can do because they have no evidence on him. Now he's out. But notice
Oh,
this. Notice this.
Mm-hmm.
They dismissed the case from the beginning because that same day that he went to jail, they looked at the cameras. They're like, "Oh, we're just dismissed." As soon as he converted to Islam, a week, 2 weeks later, because he's the most influential people right now on the internet. And then he converted by Islam. And then as soon as he converted, all he talked about, all he was tweeting, Quran, 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 Quran. Now they're like, okay, because if you're young and you're looking up to him and he's talking about the Quran, what is most likely is going to happen?
You're probably gonna convert, but one could say the same thing about any of the religions or
Yeah,
cults.
but everybody's afraid when there's a big Islam
People say the same thing about Tom Cruise and crazy Scientology. But
Yeah, but
here we
nobody's talking
are.
about Scientology is nothing compared to Islam.
But I'm just saying, I'm not comparing. I'm saying the concept of a famous person can say and do anything,
Don't
and people
forget
will
that
convert.
people are still against Islam. Let's not forget that. Islamophobia is still a big thing.
That's true.
Look in what's it called? France. France Islamophobia is huge.
The French are the worst of the colonizers, in my
Exactly.
opinion. But sorry,
So
grandma.
it's a
Sorry,
very big
grandma.
thing. But I'm glad he's out. I'll say right now that the first episode he's dropping on his podcast on Rumble, it's probably gonna break the internet.
Okay.
It's gonna be nice. I can't wait to hear what he says. And like I said,
I wonder what the limitations of his house arrest are. I'm just curious.
I don't know.
I'm thinking he's out in there like Will Smith in what's that movie in Suicide Squad.
Oh, Suicide Squad.
Remember when he's sitting in that crappy ass hole? That's what I feel like Romanian prison is like.
I just hope he just him and his brother just grab a private jet and just go to Dubai and never come back to Romania and live in Dubai because he's very loved in Dubai. And actually, he's very loved everywhere. It's just a lot of people hate him online. And dude, he's also a smart man. Like
I'm
his
indifferent.
dad, you know, his dad is a genius, right?
I have no idea.
His dad has a world record of learning Russian in 2 weeks because he worked for the government. It was what's it called? The thing was him and his let's say partner or whatever had to live with a Russian lady so they can learn Russian. He learned it in 2 weeks, and he said in 2 weeks he was correct in her Russian. And he has a
Oh
record till this
shit!
day. He wasn't a grandmaster, but he
Talk about a
played.
flex.
He wasn't a grandmaster at chess, but he played at that level. But he never got that title because he would just go to like different tournaments. Until this day, a lot of the grandmasters say he is one of the toughest players to play. And if he tied with you, he takes that as disrespect. He's
Maybe
like, you're
one
not on
day
our
we'll
level.
talk about that chess dude. The chess people are so petty. Did you see that?
They're very, but
Like a couple months ago, he got accused of
using museum.
using
That's what but that's what I'm
the
saying. Like
toy.
he comes like he's a very intelligent man. Like he's not dumb. And I'll tell people this as well. They'll be like, "Oh, he's a sex trafficker and stuff like that." First of all, the people that are wishing that was true, you're sick as fuck. Because why would you want to wish that's real?
It's weird. Like it's weird to want
You would
that
hope if
on
somebody was
somebody.
accused of that, I'd be like, I hope it's not.
There's
This
a
is not real.
difference of like somebody who you've suspected for a long time and you couldn't prove, or somebody you just want that to stick on. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
But
Like,
they
I don't
use
want
that to distract people for so long.
like if Andrew Tate had like a history of being sketchy, doing, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like, can we just prove he's finally doing this so we can move on?
Exactly.
But to my knowledge, and again, I'm not a fan, I'm not a hater, I'm just sort of indifferent. It's not sort of my industry. I'm like, if he can, we just like accuse, like, can he not get in trouble for something that he's actually done? Like, does it
Yeah.
have to be some wild sex trafficking thing?
Like it's
I know sex trafficking is the new trend right now.
well, that's the thing. Though they literally got the whole thing from that incident.
Yeah, it's weird.
When the guy literally was crying about his girlfriend being at the party and was like, she's been kidnapped. And it's like, you're such a fucking idiot. Like, you just ruined it. And then I'll tell people this. If somebody who was a multimillionaire committing crimes, they would not be going on podcasts. They were not putting their face on the map. They would literally be quiet. Because everybody, if you study any big criminal, they stay behind the scenes.
Shannon Sharp said this when they were talking about John Morant. He said, big bosses, big gangsters are trying to
Be noticed.
not be seen, not be noticed.
Exactly.
It's always the dumb ones
When-
that are trying to be out here.
And then-
American Gangster. Remember when Denzel, as soon as he put on that stupid coat, everything was down. It was downhill from there.
From that. Because
Not gonna
they'll
lie, that
tell
was a
you
fly coat.
They would tell you this as well. Like, they don't want to be seen because they continue. And those people that pretend they're gangsters, they actually will help them to be in the camera so people can distract them. Be like, oh, this same thing with El Chapo and same thing with Pablo. They were just pawns. If you do the research about who was actually in charge of them, they were just regular people. They made it seem like
The
they're
big
just
criminals,
regular
you don't know where
taxpayers.
they're. The big
Exactly.
criminals, you don't know who they
So,
are.
You don't have to agree with that, but I would just say, is how people are trying to shit on this guy. It's sad, and I'm glad he's out. Alhamdulillah. And I can't wait to see what's coming up for him. I feel like this whole year coming up, he's literally just gonna get bigger and bigger.
You know,
And he called this already. Sorry to say this again.
All
Sorry
good.
to cut you off, but he said this. He said first they're gonna cancel me. They took him out of every social media. Now he's on Rumble. They also banks closed out some of his accounts, which is crazy to me. You
That's
could cancel
wild.
somebody. You could cancel somebody on platforms, but start canceling bank accounts because you don't want the business with it. That to me is nuts.
Yeah.
And then he said, if they can't shut me up, they'll arrest me. And they did arrest him. And he said, if arresting me doesn't work, they'll kill me. And he tweeted a couple of times on his Twitter. It goes, I love myself. I will never kill myself. I love my fans. I will never kill myself. So he's already like giving us the warning.
This is a great,
And then
great media manipulator.
And then one thing I'll end this with this segment is that if he ever watches 2-hour interviews or anything, he'll always say the Matrix. He'll always use the term the Matrix.
Oh, not this again.
Now, he was released yesterday on March 31st.
Thank you guys. We don't have any more time.
Okay, this
I'm
is
kidding.
crazy.
I'm kidding.
Somebody already said this.
Go about your theory.
Listen. So a lot of people know this. People that follow him, they already know this thing. So he got released on March 31st, and he always says The Matrix. The Matrix, the movie, the original, the first one, with Keanu Reeves, came out in 1999 on March 31st.
Oh my God.
Coincidence? I don't know. You guys tell me. You guys comment. This is
Right.
crazy.
And
Shout out to the brother. I'm glad he's out.
I want to say just a couple things before we finish.
Go for it.
Firstly, if somebody's running the Matrix, can you do a better job? Like
you?
whoever's controlling my Sims, my character, do
Wait,
a better
blue
job,
pill
please.
or red pill? Which one?
I'm ignorance is bliss. I would
Okay.
definitely be the Latino dude eating the steak, talking about put me back in, and I don't want to remember anything. Like I would definitely be him.
Okay.
Overrated.
Okay.
Secondly, and this is something like with the whole cancel culture and all that stuff going on, right? If you guys really like stop hating on people stop wanting things people haven't done like to be true. Like if this person is a criminal, like they will do criminal stuff and implicate themselves, right? Don't go around seeking it. It's just sad. Right? I'm not a huge fan of Andrew Tate, but I'm not sitting here like praying like, "Yes, get him." Like, come on. Have a little bit of
No, there was a
integrity.
lot of them, and
Like if
they're
he's going to do
tracking
something,
back.
if he's
Now they
doing
look
something fucked
stupid.
up, I
Now they
believe in
look hella
karma.
stupid.
I may not be like super religious, but I believe in karma. Like if you do
Yeah,
bad things, like bad things will catch up to you.
100%.
Right?
No, but I'm happy for him, and like I said, I can't wait to see what's coming up for this year. You have anything else to say in this?
No, I just hope my Lakers move up to sixth, or at least
Oh my
because the
God.
play-in is one
I
game.
hope he jinx some, bro.
No, I don't. I get very paranoid. Like I don't watch important games because I
Yeah,
feel like I watched the Minnesota game.
yeah.
We were down like I think 12 or something, and then I said I'm not gonna watch this. Turned
Okay.
around, looked at the score again. Like maybe I'm just on my phone. Like maybe like at the end of the third, we were like down by one or something like that. I was like, yes. I was
Unreal.
hyped.
Unreal. We're
All
done with
right.
this.
Well, there's nothing else, guys.
Okay.
Please listen on Spotify. A like and follow makes a huge difference. I don't think you guys understand in terms of the algorithm and all of that. Really
Absolutely.
appreciate
Absolutely.
all of your support. If you guys have any questions, please, don't feel free to DM us and just keep your eye out on our stories because Assam is also always posting fun questions. You could be on the show.
Absolutely. Like I said, like he said, thank you guys for everything. Thank you for also subscribing. If this is your first time listening to us, we're on every good platform. We're on the Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on YouTube, we're also on Instagram,
TikTok.
TikTok as well. TikTok
Mhm.
is our biggest thing as well right now. We're running. So I'm gonna end this with one of my favorite things, with a quote,
Okay.
and the quote is, "Don't compare your life to others. There's no compensation." I said that wrong, bro. I have to start over.
Okay.
All right. Don't compare your life to others. There's no you can't bro, I'm messing up, son.
I'm not editing this.
No, you're keeping it raw. You know when you're trying to say like the book
Can I read it?
no, dude.
You sure?
Yeah, cuz I want to get it now cuz it's going to get me tight. All right. Don't compare your life to others. There's no compensation between the sun and the moon. They shine when it's their time. It's a nice one.
Are you sure that's what it said though?
That's exactly what it said. No,
All
it's
right.
actually a good really quote. It's one of my
Well,
favorite ones.
thank you, everyone.
Thank
All
you
right.
everybody.
Have a great night.
You as well. Take care.